thank you. This is my child. She is 25. She finished college at 20.
Yes.
And she's been kind of working as a theater contractor.
A theater contract, freelance designer in theater.
And she's been doing tutoring.
Acting, some, I guess, freelance education is...
Freelance.
Yeah, I just like freelancing a lot.
For the last 5 years. Stuff. And she has a YouTube, and it's Ruckus Recluse, and I'll link it.
Their format is not the same as a lot of
So my audience doesn't know how theater works.
I can't explain this to you right now. We're just going to cut out a bunch of that. That was very technical conversation. So there were some contacts I'd made over 2020 that when I rolled back into Georgia picked up pretty easily.
Steamroll.
And so I've been working off of that ever since, which has been pretty constant, where my career was going at the end of the year, the beginning of the year in 2020, and got sort of cut off.
The difference is that year you were tutoring and costuming. This year, you're costuming multiple shows.
Yes.
That's better.
It is better.
So as a homeschooler who finished homeschooling, you graduated at 16.
Yes.
You finished college at 20.
Yes.
You are 25. You lost a year and a half.
I did lose a year, and I'm being very nice to myself.
So where do you see yourself in another 5 years?
In another 5 years, I think I will have found the niche that I like, costume-wise and acting-wise and everything else-wise. I think by then I will understand what I like.
You played with dramaturgy early during COVID. Yeah. Are you still messing with that?
I'm reading a play for a friend right now.
And you also were doing some animation stuff and art stuff. Are you doing that?
I was a little too mentally busy the past month. I am going to force myself to get...
She's multi-talented, and honestly, that's a problem. Because it's hard to focus.
Want to give up anything, and all of the advice I have gotten from people further in their careers say, do whatever you want, because you're not going to make enough money freelancing anyways. By doing more than one thing. So they're like, find your niche in the thing that you do, get very good at it, have people come to you, be the person people think of for that thing. So that's something I'm trying to
have our county locked down at this particular moment.
Something I'm trying to understand about myself and develop is what are my specific skills and interests in costuming, so that I can be known for those things. Every single one of them was like, what's your side hustle? And I think that's going to be art.
Your side hustle has been tutoring and writing.
It has been tutoring and writing. And I think I'm not going to give that up yet, but I think I'm going to wean it off of that and get into commission art.
Well, good. She started, okay, this is where we're done, and we're gonna, what's that word called? I'm gonna do the thing. She started an amazing YouTube channel that I still watch from time to time. That makes me laugh my butt off. So I'm going to include my favorite video. Because I want to encourage her to get back into social media. She has an Instagram that's great. She has a TikTok Instagram that's good. She has a TikTok that I love. And she has an extinct YouTube channel that she messes with every now and then. Any questions for me as a homeschool parent, or anything you want the audience to know? People who maybe have a 7-year-old who's distraught at school and they don't know what to do, and the parent is looking at homeschooling. What would you do the same? What would you do different?
Try it out. Homeschooling. Well, I'm just playing with my hair. Homeschooling isn't for everybody.
It's not.
But it could be a good fit for you. I think one thing that you did immaculately is you taught us how to teach ourselves. And that is one of my most useful skills in almost every situation. I have never been in a situation where I have not been able to teach myself what I needed to know.
The word is autodidact. It means person who follows their curiosity.
and it has served me extremely well. Our curriculum was very heavily based around being well read. I think that has served me extremely well. Even if all it achieved is making me seem very articulate, which I do not.
You exceeded all expectations where that was concerned.
Which I do not like the word articulate as concerned with Black people.
I don't like that.
No, but it does. It has given me an extremely strong vocabulary and a very strange basis of knowledge for things that people don't usually think about. And so when people,
she's a closet Victorian.
So when people have, I was born an old person with too much energy, but I sort of grew into being a literal old person. And so did a lot of my friends. They're sort of like, what is the aesthetic that we like? Old people stuff? Can I have more books, please? Oh, this skirt needs a petticoat. It's generally what we grew into. What was I
I don't know. Oh, what did we do correct?
Being very well read. Homeschoolers do have a knack generally for having just weird niche knowledge. But just the variety of reading that I did has given me a basis of knowledge for more subjects that I believe most people think about on a general basis.
Even my homeschooling friend's child, who just kind of didn't really homeschool wholeheartedly, was an athlete and knew 10 times more than any other athlete did academically.
Yeah, it gives you a basis of knowledge for just about everything, including things that are just deeply not useful. But like, I know that workers hunt by culture and no one else needs to know that, but I do. And that's been useful strange amount of times. And I feel like I have a lot more of that knowledge than even other homeschoolers do, because just about the amount that I read and the amount that you learn from reading. So some of that is biased knowledge, maybe.
I think that's hereditary, because I read a book a day from 3rd grade till I graduated high school.
And like picking up like everyday knowledge from
and I was in
from fiction might be a little bit biased knowledge because it's coming from a perspective. But I do have like a basis for just like weird stuff that nobody else knows.
So much mythology based on
I know a lot of mythology. I know a lot of like social things about different periods that might not be entirely correct, but can be bounced off of other information,
which makes her an amazing costumer.
Yes, but I've been able to use that to like the basic information from that to bounce off of historical information, because I also like history, and I'm very good at gave me a very good basis of figuring out what's true and what's not, which a lot of history is very much propaganda based, depending on who's writing the history.
History is written by the winners.
And so I'm very good at being like, you didn't need to mention that out loud. And when you say things that should be common knowledge out loud, it means you're trying to convince me of something. So, always be suspicious of people being like, the sky is blue. And I was like, was the sky actually not blue that day? That feels weird.
So, just for me, because I still work with homeschool children, name a couple of things that should be done differently.
Homeschool children need to leave the house more. And not in a structured way. A lot of kids are just put into a billion activities, and they're just like going.
Well, that's public school kids. That's why no one was ever around in the summers.
Yeah, no,
our whole neighborhood was a ghost town.
Yeah, because people don't know what to do with the kids. But like, at least public school kids are seeing other people.
So 2 days a week wasn't enough.
2 days, and
Sunday.
I feel like this goes for all children generally, honestly. I feel like you just need more unstructured time out of your house.
Just go. Oh, you mean like when we were kids and they would just push us outside to go play?
A little bit. Like, don't latchkey your kids. Know where they are. But like, when the chunk of time where you would just sort of push me out of the house when that was still socially acceptable, and I would just wander around the neighborhood, I was having a grand old time. I was never in any danger. So as long as you can curate sort of like their environment enough, I think kids should really just need to have time where nothing is expected of them, but they're not cooped up. Because when I stopped going outside, I just started staring at the wall and reading.
So what felt like we're really into the groove of this, we have a great routine, was not constructive.
Might be more, it's not constructive, but it might be conducive to bad mental health at a certain point.
Okay. So, and this is why I say I'm not against unschooling.
Yes.
It just has to be,
there has to be something to reference against.
It has to be, it can't be full on unschooling. It's got to be an unschooling chunks.
Yes, I believe in hybrid of just about everything.
Yeah.
No concept or theory works in its pure state. It ends up cannibalizing itself and biting itself in the butt. Almost, and this is in every topic. So, like, you take the theories of two things that oppose each other and you push them together in a way that makes the most sense to make something that works.
Our homeschool program is called the Free Range Homeschool Academy. So we're attempting that.
Yes.
Okay, what else can I do differently?
Do differently.
Your brother would say get the children dual enrolled by 10th grade.
Definitely do that. It's at around 11th, 12th grade, it becomes unproductive. Especially if you've been doing it as long as we did. I did.
You want to take that next step.
I did all my work that first month of the year, and then I was just around the rest of the year.
Well, then you just read. So what?
I was not mentally engaged in anything.
So you could have been a whole genius if we'd kept
junior through senior year. I was not engaged in anything. I wasn't doing anything.
And you still graduated at 16.
Yeah.
And you still had no trouble in college.
No.
See, I'm not mad, but
I'm just saying I was not mentally engaged in much of anything junior senior year because I got in such a groove.
You had time for a YouTube channel, but we didn't have that back then.
I mean, like some people aren't like I'm not trying to sound special. But, like, academics are easier for me. Is at least specific ones. I'm not good at, like, science or language particularly. I have to work harder. I have to work to do those.
Foreign language.
Okay,
you have to study, yes.
So I actually have to put an effort to do those things. So it would have been productive to have me do something
take a college level.
College level or something I wasn't good at per se.
Oh, that is the opposite of what I recommend. When I recommend that students dual enroll because I want them to just feel college, I tell them to do things that they already do as a no-brainer.
Well, that's if you're going the dual enrollment route. If you're dual enrollment, I would say do that. If you're not going to dual enroll, get your kid doing something that they're not particularly...
Stretch them.
Good, don't stress them out.
Stretch. I didn't say stress.
No, I know. I'm saying don't stress them out because junior senior year is hard, just sort of like mentally and emotionally. Because
socially, it was already hard. I watched you.
Really,
I didn't enjoy watching it, even as a homeschooler. High school is socially
hard,
jarring.
Junior senior year was hard.
People becoming adults are not kind to each other.
Even like the people who pride themselves on kindness, which we were such uppity children. No, we were not particularly kind to each other.
And then you were younger than everyone else who was graduating also. Yeah. That was just hard to watch.
I think it would have helped to be more mentally engaged in something because I finished all my work at the beginning.
To have something else to do.
And I just sort of, for the rest of the year.
Wow, I thought you were so busy.
I was busy senior year.
And this is when I speak to homeschool.
Second semester senior year, I was extremely busy.
Yeah, because you had the project.
I had my senior project, which I don't think a lot of public schoolers have.
Nobody knows about that. What was I going to say? ADHD.
We should both get diagnosed or something.
What was I going to say? I thought you were busy, but it was a faux busy.
I was.
So you could have been using that time to maybe get back into fencing so that you can do that sport for college. Thinking back, I'm thinking, we could have done more of this.
I was actively distracting myself. I was not busy.
But you were working on your music. You were putting together your. I see you.
I was doing things, but like.
But you weren't doing things that you hadn't already been doing.
I was stuff I was extremely used to doing. And anything that, like, all of my academic work was done by like the second month of the year.
So whether we're dual, except for the in-class classes, because you wanted to focus on the in-class classes, so you did the other subjects.
Yeah.
So when they get to junior and senior year of homeschooling, stretch them. Don't let them fall into just doing the same things that they're good at, whether you're dual enrolling or whether you're finding more interesting things to do.
Yeah. And even if like the things that they're not good at might be too stressful, just find something mentally engaging that isn't the things they've been doing.
Change it up.
Because I think I got...
We probably should change it up a few times through
I think I got slightly more depressed at that time just because I didn't have any mental stimulation that wasn't exactly.
You were also dealing with Mean Girls senior year.
Yeah.
That you weren't aware of. I tried to tell you and you were like, they're my friends.
Look, if I acknowledged it at the time, I wouldn't have made it through high school. I need to get to the other side and then see it in hindsight.
Homeschools are mean too. So, guys, we've been at this for a while. I'm going to break this into 2 videos. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Miss Jordan. I'm going to link her stuff.
Okay.
And until next time.